Hi, everyone. The day is finally here. I watched a cartoon from Japan. People always ask me to talk about these cartoons from Japan, and I keep saying I'm an adult. I watch adult things.
Yeah.
I already know how to do my ABCs and count and the power of friendship.
I see what you're doing.
But yeah, people have always told me to talk about Evangeline.
You're coming to kill me.
It's time to hack the movies.
You watched an anime called
An
Evangelion.
animated feature, a cartoon.
Not
as we call it.
a cartoon.
What's the difference?
Well, a cartoon is for children. An animation can be produced for
South Park's a
discerning
cartoon.
adults. I would call it an adult animation.
Simpsons is a cartoon.
Yeah, Simpsons is more child friendly.
King of the Hill is a cartoon.
Well, let's put it this way. Would you show Simpsons to a child?
Yes.
Would you show the Evangelion movie, which we just watched, to a child?
Well, I mean,
Because if you do that, you go to jail.
I mean, it's hand drawn, so it's clearly for kids. But I wouldn't show it to my kids because I want them to grow up as good Christians. Yeah. So people have always told me about this cartoon, and everyone who's hyped this cartoon up in my past has been an insufferable prick,
Yes.
including you.
Damn it.
And you guys pretend it's like the deepest, most amazing thing in the world.
I never said that. I don't know who said that to you. It's
Other
not-
people have said it.
It has some complexities that I think you might
To the
uncover.
point, I like Shin Godzilla, but a lot of people I know
Thank you.
pretended it was the greatest Godzilla movie ever made because the guy who made this cartoon did it. And I'm like, okay, you guys are a little obsessed. So Vito finally made me watch Evangelion.
Evangelion.
Yes.
You don't have to pronounce it like an old Japanese man. But you
All right,
can.
so I finally watched it. And we watched. Apparently, I did it wrong. You made me do it wrong.
I don't think I made you do it wrong. I think this is a perfect entry point. We watched the first of the so-called rebuild movies, of which there are 4.
Okay.
Evangelion 1.11,
Okay.
which is a pretty straightforward representation of the first, I think, 4 episodes of the TV show, just animated at a higher quality because it's from the 2000s.
I will say the animation was really good in it.
Oh, yeah. It looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was actually pretty sleek. I was expecting it because I have seen a bunch of these Japanese cartoons.
A lot of them do not have a good budget.
No.
This is one of those projects that, like, actually, you know what's interesting about Evangelion?
Mm-hmm.
They have the list on Wikipedia of, like, the top franchises of all time. And a lot of them make sense. Number one's, like, Pokemon,
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse, whatever else. And you get to, like, number 15 or 20, and it's, like, Evangelion. And you're like, wait, how? How is that possible? And you look at the revenues, and it's like, yeah, the movie's made some money. And they went, Pachinko, $20 bajillion dollars. So
Yeah.
they have all the Pachinko money in the world from the Evangelion franchise. So that's actually why, part of why the animation, they're like, yeah, I don't know, just spend whatever you want. We don't care.
Yeah. But no, I mean, this one, it was digestible, I guess.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of, like Trailer Park Boys, the movie, the first one. Not in continuity with the show. It's its own thing.
Yeah.
But it's made in a way to be digestible for people who haven't watched the show.
Well, I was interested because you were like saying that you felt the pacing was pretty quick. I'm somebody who's watched the show. So again, I wasn't sure. Again, the show would have done the same thing, but across like 4 episodes. But
Yeah.
did the pacing kind of work for you, or?
In the beginning, it felt very rushed.
Yeah, but I think the show is the same way. I think, it jumps right into it. It's like, let's put this kid in a robot. He doesn't want to be in the robot, but let's
Yeah.
put him in the robot.
It's making me ask a lot of questions and things are moving too fast. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, why is the kid there? He's there to meet a hot lady, but then she takes him to an underground thing.
Yeah,
Okay, and now he's in a robot. I'm like, this is too fast. This is too fast. I don't know who anyone
I kind of
is
agree with you there. Yeah.
or anyone is or whatever. But no, the pacing got better like midway through.
Yeah.
When the title card showed up at the midway point.
At the 1 hour, 5 minute mark, which is where you put a title card for a movie.
Then it moved a little bit better.
It was more digestible.
Yes, I think if you're gonna condense, like, what is it? You said the first 4 episodes.
I think it's the first 4 episodes. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Could have probably eliminated some characters, condensed it a little bit more.
I think that there's some characters they could have spent more time with for the movie, like the blue-haired lady, Rei Ayanami.
Oh, okay,
Her
yes.
whole self-sacrifice at the end. Spoilers.
Yeah, again, that's a whole thing.
Kind of
like-
comes out of nowhere, and you're like, I haven't really met this lady.
Yeah, that's another thing. They're like, here's a ghost, but it's a real person. But maybe they're not. I'm like, what the fuck's happening?
You're really hung up on that one like ghost thing.
Why was she a ghost? Are they psychic? Like, what the fuck is going on? It makes me ask too many questions.
But that's why the show's good. Is the questions are fun.
I guess.
If anything, I was spoiling it for you because I kept nudging you and being like, "Well, actually, the
Yeah.
soul of this man."
Well,
is
luckily,
inside
I
that
watched
thing.
the Mega 64 recap.
Right,
of
so
the
you have all
entire
the
series. So I
spoilers.
have like, but here's the thing: I'll probably forget as I
Right.
go through these. But no, all right. So Shinji's the worst.
Yes, on purpose.
Yeah, he's like terrible. But like, I don't like care to see him grow or anything.
It is interesting that like Shinji is like the focal point of the whole thing, and then like nobody likes him. Even
No.
fans of the show are like, "Yeah, I don't know, I kind of hate Shinji."
Yeah, and his dad hates him, and his dad's like too stereotypical bad guy.
His dad is like way over the top.
Yeah, like not even like clever evil. It's just kind of annoying. I'm like, all right, you're clearly the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, I have
You
like
sure
some.
are mean. I do like the note he gave him. I got a message from my father. It just says, "Come here," and a dot on a map.
And there's a bunch of other redacted, like confidential information. Come here. Yeah, well, it is a weird themes of family, of childhood abandonment.
That's what makes it so special.
Well, that is what makes it so special. Okay, so here's the problem with Evangelion is that it's great because it was made by a crazy, depressed psychopath who his own fan base was yelling at him all the time. He's like, I'm just going to make it crazy because I hate all you people.
Okay.
And he made this big, crazy, depressing robot anime. The problem with these new movies...
Superkiller.org.
That's what I'm making.
Superkiller.org.
You want to reach these creators when they're at their lowest. That's when they make their best stuff. All right?
Is that why I haven't made anything good? I just haven't been that
You
well?
haven't been depressed
I need
enough.
to be more depressed.
You
I
need
to be
like a
more
woman to
depressed.
leave you and stab you in the heart. and
We've
then
tried
you'll-
that a couple times. It didn't work.
Yeah, because you
It's-
always bounce back. You're too happy about it. You're like,
No,
"Hey,
I
I'm
haven't
free
dated
again."
in like a year, but I'm still doing okay.
Yeah, I know. You're way too emotionally stable to make art.
I am a little too emotionally stable. Hey, I made Mummy Cop. That was pretty good.
Oh,
Like senior
okay.
thesis right there.
Yeah,
That
but
was-
imagine if you were suicidal when you were making Mummy Cop.
Oh,
it
would've been even
way better.
Here's a fun fact. I was in the mummy outfit
Yeah.
in Mummy Cop, and my girlfriend at the time left the set, and we don't know where she went. And
Oh
then
my
my one
God.
producer was like, "Yeah, she apparently looked at your phone and saw another girl text you, so she's gone." So I
oh
was
my
like-
God.
So I went, "Huh?" I'm like, "I guess we're broken up," and she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, we got like 4 other scenes to film. We'll talk about it later." And I went right back to shooting. Like the whole conversation happened in the mummy outfit. I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll call her later."
I
All
just
right,
see
next
you in the
scene.
mummy outfit, like looking down. You're like, I'm sad.
No, I
We've
wasn't.
got to get it done.
No, I kind of wanted out of that.
You were like, oh,
I
thank God
kinda
it's over.
Why do you think another girl was texting me? I wanted out of that relationship. But yeah, anyone else would have been like, "Oh no!" I'm
Only
like, well,
here can you get this exclusive behind the scenes Mummy Cop commentary, guys.
I went
You gotta
right
put that on the Blu-ray.
Went right back to filming. Yeah, so that's my thing. I gotta be more depressed, I guess.
So that's why Evangelion is so good, is that it's a depressing nightmare. And then, but then these new movies that we're watching,
Yeah.
the problem is this first one is very accurate to the TV show, which is why it's like a cool jumping off point.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to continue watching it, I would tell you, please go watch the TV show.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Because
We'll
the
get to that.
movies go off the rails.
Here's some things I like.
Yeah.
I was trying to predict some things that would happen. I'm like, Vito, this guy seems like a Mary Sue.
Who? Shinji? Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You thought he was going to kick ass in the
And
robot.
I thought it was pretty funny that he tripped right
He
away.
immediately fell on his face.
But because these cartoons don't know how like humor works.
You-
Like they kept like the dramatic music playing. Like, no, you got to cut the music.
You wanted a wah-wah.
And you got to cut to a guy in a control room going, Like, that would have been funny. There was a lot of stuff that could have been funny.
It's not supposed to be funny. It's not a funny show.
why have
there is some funny stuff.
Why have him tripping? Oh, well.
We'll get to that. I did want to say I was really happy when the alien grabbed him and immediately started stabbing the robot in the eye, which is funny to me. I was like, this is perfect. This is Tony's kind of movie.
Eye stabbings.
Like, of all the I had forgotten that happens, and then immediately Shinji's grabbing his eyes like, I'm like, this is good. This is my favorite thing.
Yeah, so I like Japanese stuff and giant monsters. So I'm like,
Well, you liked Shin Godzilla, which is directed by the director of Evangelion.
yes, I like Shin Godzilla's very good. It's one of the better
Yes.
Godzilla movies. It's just not the best, and there's way better Godzilla movies.
Sure, but the Evangelion has a lot of the same stuff where it's a lot of like military fetishism, technological fetishism.
That just comes from old Godzilla. But you're like, yeah, look at all those tanks moving around. He did the same thing for Shin Godzilla. I'm like, Vito, I've seen a million Godzilla movies where all the tanks
This
are
guy
moving in
does
a
it
row.
better. He does it way better.
Yeah, but he got it from them. He didn't create
He
this.
used real tanks in Shin Godzilla.
Okay, yeah, that was a good improvement.
Yeah.
But the idea of tanks moving in unison has been done in a million
With the barrels all like one after the other. All right,
Yeah,
I
how many
don't know.
movies there's literally the shot of all the tanks on like the coastline shooting at the sea? I think that happened in like one of the I think it happened in Frankenstein Unbound, actually.
I'm gonna
not Frankenstein Unbound. Frankenstein Conquers the World.
I'm gonna pretend Evangelion invented all that.
Have you ever seen Frankenstein Conquers
I have
the
not
World?
seen any of this.
Do you want me to tell you the beginning of Frankenstein? I love telling people the beginning of this movie.
Sure.
So the Nazis, they get the heart of the Frankenstein monster.
Yes.
Right? They take it from the doctor, and then they give the heart to Japan. This is during the war. And then the Japanese scientists are like, okay, let's experiment on the heart of the Frankenstein monster in Nagasaki in 1945.
Oh!
And then they get atom bombed in the beginning, and then years
It
later,
irradiates the heart.
Frankenstein comes alive, and then he gets big. And
Is
then
he
there's
gigantic?
Yes, but then there's another monster he has to fight. And depending on what version you watch, one of the producers was just like, I want him to fight an octopus. And someone went, how do we fit this in the movie? So Frankenstein kills the main monster. And then he looks over and people are like, look, a giant octopus. And then he has to fight an
For no
octopus
reason.
for no reason.
That's pretty good.
Don't watch the octopus version.
It's not as good.
But yes. So yeah, I was excited to see like the monster battle. And the monster battles were pretty fun. in
Yeah,
this.
they're interesting.
They were a little overly complicated, I think, with the force fields and
the AT field, yes.
Also, they probably should have told him about killing the core before his first fight.
Well, they were going to get into it. They're like, listen, get in the his first robot battle does not go very well. Although I think his dad knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it goes better than the other ones, I think.
Well, it goes
right?
better because I don't think he was really in control of the robot. Spoiler alert.
Oh, okay.
It goes berserk. But
It
that's,
does go berserk.
Let's be clear. One of the cool things about Evangelion is I don't think we ever had the kind of weird, like, body horror robot type thing.
Yeah, that was one thing I actually did appreciate because
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of mech suit sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
mechs are okay.
But like mech suits and people in like, you know, some of the Mecha Godzillas are piloted by people.
Yeah.
But you mix that with like a David Cronenberg like
Yeah.
body infused thing. Like, all right, that's a new element that
It's
I
like, what did you guys do? It's like, we might have cloned a giant alien and just put
I would
a
like
bunch
if
of
they
weird
actually looked more biomech if they were like Giger style.
Well,
but-
as it goes on, I mean, you get like cool stuff where like somebody will rip the face off, and you're like, ah, what the hell is that thing? So, and that is kind of one of the coolest aspects of it, that they're these biomechanical robots. that
yes.
these,
Now I have some questions.
teenagers are tortured by being forced to
I have
pilot.
some questions. So humanity was wiped in half by
In the year
angels.
2000, yes.
Was that by the angels or
That was by
unrelated apocalypse?
It was by, yes, the first. They uncovered the first angel, and doing so triggered what is called the second impact.
Okay.
We are led to believe the first impact was the meteor that killed the dinosaurs or whatever.
Oh, gotcha.
So first,
Did
second.
the dinosaurs uncover?
Well, actually, yeah, it's kind of hinting. Actually, the dinosaurs found an alien god, and then it blew a bunch of stuff up. And then we did that again.
the
in the
dinosaurs do it.
I don't know. They were just fucking around. So we're
Okay.
trying to prevent third impact. We've had two.
Okay.
If a third one happens, humanity is done.
So
doomed.
there's a giant underground facility.
Yes.
Is the Earth hollow in this universe?
Just this part, I think.
Okay, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's no way you could ever build this. You can, and it just keeps going. And so it's a big underground city that can like
Yes.
fold into the ground. Like, okay, I'm on board with that. It's like, but then the elevator keeps going into a giant dome
Yes.
with a pyramid in a forest. I'm like,
Yes.
how are the trees getting photos? Whatever. But then the elevator keeps going into a ocean of organs. I'm like, I'm like, Vito, who built the goddamn, were they in scuba suits, like looking at all this horrifying organs? Like, oh, I gotta do this.
You have to sign a lot of NDAs when you work for Nerve, and it's
And
like,
then
don't look at all those alien skulls. Don't worry about it.
Underneath the ocean, I don't know how the ocean does just pour into this facility,
Right.
is Lilith,
Yeah.
which is a
Spoiler
crucified,
alert.
which is a crucified giant organism.
Yes.
But you said it just was always crucified. No one put it on the cross.
We're not
instead?
100% sure. My fan belief is that it arrived pre-crucified.
But was it who? So you think it got crucified?
I think it got
elsewhere
crucified by the original alien race that sent it
and then
to
sent
across
it
the
there?
universe.
Okay. And I'm sitting there and like, by the way, it has the most complicated elevator door where it's got like corkscrews.
Yeah, that was the one piece of
Yeah.
mechanical equipment that I go, well, how does that work?
I'm like, Vito,
I don't
this
even
is-
know that.
This is fucking stupid. What is how this? They
I just
overthought
picture
it.
a bunch of contractors going, yeah, they want like a corkscrew door and like
Yeah.
a bunch of crosses everywhere.
And you're watching this like it's totally normal. Like, yeah, that's a big underground.
It's
film. Like, no,
awesome.
that's a little. That's I can only suspend my disbelief so much. Like James Bond movies have underground layers, but
Yeah.
they don't just keep. I'm like, Vito, they're gonna have to hit the mantle at some point.
It's
all this stuff is going
been
to.
planned for.
They would be boiling alive because of how hot it is.
I mean, yeah, you're led to believe that this is, humanity's last defense, and like, just give them all the money in the world. Who cares? But
Is this like another dimension? Like, did they go into another? Like, did you see Godzilla versus Kong?
no, I did not.
Okay, well, there is a hollow Earth.
Yeah.
But they make a point to show it like kind of go through like a portal. So maybe the hollow Earth is like a dimension in and of itself.
Right.
It's stupid, but if there's something here, they're like, oh yeah, we just built a really big elevator.
Yeah,
And I'm like, there's no way this elevator.
I mean, let's be clear, they're descending into hell, is I assume the metaphor.
So then we get more robot fights.
Yes.
And again, it's like, so they have this big city. So they sent it out in the first mission with no information
Yeah.
and no weapons.
Yeah. Well, he could have pulled out his shoulder knife.
Yeah, you somehow do that. And then they're like, okay, so for this next one, you need to use guns. Like, why didn't you give him a gun the first time?
They were probably going to give him a gun. It just went bad the first time.
Okay, so then they sent him out with a gun. I did like the detail of the casings falling and crushing cars.
That was cool.
They don't, so they can bring the city into the ground, but they
But
can't,
not,
like,
yeah, if
knock
you're out on the
cars.
street, you're screwed.
Yeah. So, by the way, I feel bad for the houses outside of the city. It's like, fuck you
Yeah,
guys.
you really.
It's like
I don't know why anyone lives in this city. They're like,
like-
no, it's cool. It goes into the ground. I'm like, I don't care. I'm still moving.
I like Mega City 1 in Judge Dredd. It's like, you can live in the nice tall blocks or you can live in like the shanty town next to them. They both suck. It's like, oh, cool. Well, one's got blast shielding. I'm like, well,
Yeah, I'm going.
kind of want to
there.
be in that one.
You like that they have entire skyscrapers just to deliver him.
Yeah, and I'm
weapons?
like, yeah, you're just. I'm like, wait, so there's a big robot with a big robot gun instead of just mounting a gun on something.
Tony got really mad when I pointed out that they have power cords, and he's like, "No, they don't." And I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't
they
notice
do."
it the first time. Oh yeah, so then there's a separate. So someone built this building in this one specific area because
Yeah.
it knew that maybe one day a robot will run out of bullets. And instead of giving it different clips and stuff, we'll just build a building that houses an extra gun.
I think they have under the ground multiple like pods they can slot in.
Well, they
and
have
it
big
come up.
elevator systems for their robot, we
Yeah.
found out, with like tubes, like the Jeffrey tubes in Star Trek. I'm like, okay, that's really complicated.
all to protect.
Just a little too overthought.
I think you got to turn off your brain at some points. Yes, you have
No,
to
but I
go-
was told this was a sophisticated, thought-provoking, deep thing. Is my brain supposed to be on?
It's honestly pretty simple, but I think that's the appeal of it. As everyone goes, they throw all this complex stuff at you. It's like, ooh, where'd the robots come from? Where'd the aliens come from? And at the end of it, it's like, well, none of that matters.
Yeah.
though. It's really just about,
Yeah.
hey, what if you torture a bunch of 14-year-olds? Will they retain their humanity? Let's find out.
I just wish someone like at least would ask the questions the audience have, where it's like, why don't we just get like a military guy in this? And then someone like, well, there's a very specific reason. Instead, they're like, only you can do it. Why? I don't know. We were
can't
told
tell
only
you
you can
yet.
do it. We didn't question anything. It doesn't help that the main kid is being gaslit by an alcoholic broad. who won't clean her house, and she's like a commander.
Yeah, again, that's one of the great lapses of Evangelion logic is like, we have more money than God, and our top commander lives alone in a 2-bedroom apartment with a 14-year-old boy.
And she seems to only drink alcohol, and I'm
Yes.
well, lady, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, couldn't she be living in a mansion with a personal chef? She's literally the commander of the forces to save humanity.
I mean, I understand she'd probably be drinking a lot because
Yeah.
of the stress of the job, but she's like having fun. She's like, oh, I'm going to drink more beer. It's like, lady, there's a lot in the line here. Like, maybe you want to drink some water once in a while.
no.
And she lives with the penguin.
Yes. Who's very important to the plot, which is why he shows up in one scene and never again.
No, he shows up later on.
Oh,
During
is
the
he looking out the window?
During the
Yeah.
emotional moment before the final battle, they have to show that the penguin is also sad. So the penguin, I'm like, all right, she's got a wacky penguin. But, like, it reads, and I'm like, Vito, is it sentient? Like, is it smart?
Okay, so like when Evangelion started out as a TV show, I don't think they knew how long it was going to run for. They were just kind of going by the seat of their pants. So like, I don't know, just put a bunch of stuff in there we can expand on later. Give her a penguin, who cares? And yeah, some of that stuff never really gets fleshed out in the Evangelion
Like,
universe.
are they using the ooze to make the penguins
They're
smarter?
just smart penguins. They're super intelligent penguins. What do you need to know? Why do you need to know this? Let the penguin read the newspaper and move along.
So stupid.
We're like towards the end of the movie, and Tony's like, really though, what was the penguin doing in the reading
What
a newspaper?
was the penguin doing there? It's so bizarre. I didn't
important.
understand.
He's only there for the fans.
I
It's
guess.
not crucial to the plot at all.
So yeah, the kid's just being manipulated by the girl,
And his dad and everyone
and
around
his dad. There's uncomfortable nudity. Well, there's the wacky nudity with the kid,
him. Yeah.
which I feel like I was being groomed by you. Okay, so Vito convinced me to watch anime. It's an anime. He's like, Tony, you're gonna love this anime. It's Evangelion 1.11. It's cool. It's got robots and everything. And what the fuck is on the screen? Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Vito. Watching this,
I kept,
but at
rubbing
least
your
that's like a
leg during that
comedic
scene.
scene. Yeah, he comes out and the thing's blocking his dick.
Yeah.
And I did like the joke where she moves the big can, but then there's a tiny can blocking. I'm like, all right,
It's a little good,
All right.
a little physical humor thing.
that was funny. They show the of age girl tits out in the bathtub.
You don't see her nipples though. I don't think.
I don't get the people turned on by cartoons. Like,
Yes,
and
you do.
I'm not even.
Shut up.
I'm not even talking about those type of cartoons. Like just cartoons in general.
You're
like,
lying.
I don't get it.
I
Like,
know you're lying.
I am not lying. Like I don't understand.
If I showed you like a sexy Simpsons cartoon, you'd be cranking it.
no, because that shit's weird.
All
when
right,
I
not the
watch.
Simpsons stuff. Miss Incredible from The Incredibles, though. Come on,
No
shut up.
cosplayers who dress like her. Yes,
There's no way you
like
can,
Kayla Braxton from WWE.
your primordial human brain can recognize the human form and all its sexiness, even if it's an abstraction. Cavemen drew boobs on
Yeah, but
walls.
if I see like a drawing, I'm trying to picture like a human as that. But there's people who just like the cartoon look, and
Sure.
I'm like, I don't
Fair
get.
enough.
I don't get just the like. Look at that Power Girl action figure up there, and it's like, man, I would love if a real woman looked like that. And I'm imagining a real woman looking like that, wearing that outfit. And I've seen cosplayers wearing that outfit, but I don't want to have sex with the actual action figure.
What about Lola Bunny?
That's the exception.
Thank you. Thank you.
Only the Zendaya Lola Bunny.
No, that's the bad one. They cut off her tits. My God, what's wrong with this country?
Where did we go wrong?
How did we
Our
go wrong?
Lola Bunny.
They took away Lola Bunny's assets.
Donald Trump tried to warn you where media was going.
So there's
When he
tasteful.
complained about Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
and you ignored him, and now we have titsless Lola Bunny. Way to go, Vito.
Let's go, Brandon. Sorry.
Okay, so back to Evangelion.
So there's tasteful nudity, but then there was nudity that you did not approve of.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to see a 14-year-old kid nude.
Again, there-
Now, I assume all the people on the internet who yell about the movie's cuties, they're probably writing to Amazon Prime right now saying, get this anime.
get this off.
Get this off at Amazon Prime. You should all go to Amazon Prime and say, hey, get this child pornography off your platform.
Not to mention, well, I mean, they should be writing Netflix because they have the TV show and that had that scene as well.
Right to Netflix right now.
Netflix
say, hey,
and Amazon.
Get the. I know a lot of you Snyder fans who are doing the whole sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to give that up. We got to get Evangelion off of Netflix.
We got to get rid of this
and we got to get it off of Amazon
horrible
Prime.
nudity.
Get it out. Get it out. Or censor it. Put Vito in the role.
Yeah, put my face over her.
Yeah, that part was kind of uncomfortable. Because again, I don't know if it was played for laughs because he like puts up and he's like accidentally on her boob. And I've seen there's a bunch of scenes where someone accidentally grabs.
But I
boobs.
think Evangelion was one of the first to like. I mean, not the first, but again, it's interesting because you got to kind of like put yourself in like a Japanese animator's headset
Sure.
of like, if we made a movie, we'd be making stupid callbacks to shit we like from other
Yeah.
movies, and that's kind of like what he's doing. He's like,
Yeah, but then the scene didn't feel like it was played for laughs.
I think that's what's interesting, though, is that he's taking something that is probably I think it is like a trope in anime culture, and it's kind of like, yeah, no, it would just actually be awkward and uncomfortable. It wouldn't be hot or cute at all. It would be like, oh God, I'm so sorry.
You know, Joss Whedon did a good job in his Justice League when he had the Flash land on Wonder Woman's boobs.
Yeah,
Zack Snyder should have left that part in his cut. He really should have. He should have been like, I actually
Snyder didn't
came
leave
up with
any. Yeah, he should have. He went. You know what? Whedon had one good idea.
I knew someone who hated the "Chase me, you damn insects" line, and he swore it was Joss Whedon's line. And then when it was in the Snyder cut, he was
Did
like,
he feel
reeled it 'cause
stupid?
He spent like a year or two bitching about that.
I
line.
can't believe Whedon would have
Yeah,
done.
did that
Oh.
stupid line. Like, oh, that was Snyder, my dad. Anyway, so Evangelion. The next. So there's the big lurky angel.
Yeah, the shambling whatever. Then
then
there's
the-
the weird bone.
Yeah, the next one is
cage
like a crab
with
a
lasers.
horseshoe crab.
Yeah.
Yeah, the horseshoe crab thing.
And
Oh yeah,
then-
so the power cord.
The power cord.
Just yank the power cord.
They don't know. They're stupid dumb aliens. They're acting on instinct.
But they seem complicated, and they should know. Like,
They're like vaguely complicated, but I don't know how smart they are.
do they have a leader?
Not technically. I don't think so.
So
They're kind of acting independently.
So they're coming from the Earth, I assume.
Yeah, it seems like that whatever the second impact awoke and whatever spawns these things, and then
Okay.
they've spent the last 10 years evolving randomly and
Okay, and then they all
undetectable
go there
locations.
because of the thing underground,
Yes,
and
they're trying to get to Space Jesus.
and they're not
If you
coordinating.
touch Space Jesus, it kills all the humans.
Okay, and they're not coordinating their attack. Because then I was thinking of like Pacific Rim, how there is like a force that's building the monsters and giving them intel.
Yeah, no, this
These
is
are just
kind
like,
of a
I am a
thing.
horseshoe crab. Wah!
Yeah,
And like when you realize how far that thing is, it's like, man, they're gonna take a while digging down there.
yeah.
Why do they even bother battling? Why don't they just go underneath the water and like drill?
You want it to drill from underwater.
Yeah.
I think it just gets above the thing and it just drills down. Stop! Why would I know how the interdimensional alien
Yeah, but you could, like,
operates?
drill down.
Maybe it can't swim. Maybe it has lungs.
They come from the ocean.
They don't necessarily come from the ocean. We
They
don't know
literally
that.
come from the ocean. The
That-
first scene is them aiming all their guns at the ocean and the monster coming
Yeah, but
out.
the monster's above the waves. It's not swimming under the waves.
Was he surfing?
Yeah, he kinda
Whoa,
was. You see it?
tubular.
We don't know that they're aquatic creatures.
Okay, so
That's
there's,
your assumption.
there's the horseshoe crab, and like the whole scene with like, for people who care about humanity, they make dumb decisions. Like his two friends are out there. That's why he is not fighting, because he's afraid of stepping on them.
Yes.
Let's open up the escape pod, completely expose ourselves, and then have a ladder. Why is there a rope ladder on the escape pod? That
I think what's great though is I think in the TV show they didn't show the rope ladder. It was just like get in. You had to like use your imagination of like how'd they get in there?
yeah, how'd they climb up there? Is it like Power Rangers? They just jump into
Yeah,
the top.
the hard cut. They're like we're not animating them.
So they
just
climb
assume
into
they
the
got
thing.
in.
By the way, the escape pods. Earlier, they showed that Eva Zero.
Yeah, it's got the cross hanging
Yeah,
out of it.
so that was Ray's.
That's Ray's,
They
yeah.
put her in it, and it had a meltdown.
yeah,
And they were like, so it's in a big contained area, and they're like, launch the escape pod.
eject the pod.
And
yeah.
it's just like a bullet, and it's speeding around the room. They're like, where did you think it was gonna go?
I like to think that like normally it's supposed to do something else, but you know then it just shot its.
Well, no, it's
rocket.
supposed to be ejected like outdoors.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be in a ceiling and then
Wham! You're like, oh, it's gotta suck to be in that thing.
That was kind of mean with Ray in the beginning. They're like, all right, he won't do it. Bring in Ray. And she's like, ah.
Yeah,
Like,
that
she's
was the
like,
great
ah.
And that spawned a whole thing in Japan of people, you know, you ever see the pictures of like anime girls with like bandages all over or whatever? I think that's all because of Ray. That Japan developed a weird sick girl medical fetish.
You know what I would have done in that situation? If I looked at her and they said, you got to do this or she has to do it, I'd be like, good luck, lady.
Yeah, hey, have fun up there.
Good luck, lady.
You got this.
That's a very form-fitting outfit. It looks nice on you.
Tony, you mustn't run away. Oh, I must.
Oh, I must.
I must.
I must. that thing
this.
doesn't look like you can dig pretty well.
Dad, fuck you. Sick lady, fuck you. I'm out of here. You guys
At
figure
some
it
point
out.
during all the battles, I looked at Vito. I'm like, why don't they just give up?
Just humanity
Seems
just
like
gives
it's really
up.
hard. Like you had a good run.
There's a lot of that. There's
Like
a
at
lot-
what point during like the alien invasion do you think we should just give up? Like, like when I watch Independence Day, like when they launch the nuke and it doesn't work, I feel like the president should be like, yeah, we're done.
You know what? We try. We give it a good try.
We're done.
Aliens
Have it.
shall inherit the earth.
Let them have it.
Well, then they have to assassinate a diamond, which is always exciting.
Yeah, the diamond thing was cool. You said you don't like the more they get abstract, but I kind of dug this.
No, I think the diamond was good. What do you call it? Again, in the original show, it was just a floating diamond, and then
Yeah.
they're like, "Hey, we have a budget now. We should make it do cool stuff."
So
And
they
he's, like,
did a
flipping
George
around and-
Lucas.
yeah, they Lucas.
So they
it.
added a dance number like George Lucas.
I think they should.
What other George Lucas changes would you have liked
It's
in this?
funny that you bring up dance number because there is a dance episode of the TV show which did not get animated into
So
the
they did a
rebuild.
reverse Lucas.
Yeah, they
got rid of
reversed
the
Lucas.
dance.
I think they got rid of the dance scene. I don't think they revisit that. I could be wrong.
Do they all sing a song at the end of Evangelion and he replaced it with a different song like the Nub Nub?
The ending is much different in these movies.
Oh, okay.
I do not approve of the rebuild ending, which is a topic for another time.
So it is finished. I thought you said
it is
not
finished. All 4 of the rebuild movies
Okay,
are
okay.
done.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other stuff they could have added. What is some like stupid?
Some stupid Star
They
Wars.
should add 100 angels. Like you know how you add
There is some Star Wars in there, yeah.
They added more TIE fighter, like just 1,000,000 angels.
You do get like more tanks and more like planes shooting at the robots.
They needed to add the Praxis shockwave effect to every angel death.
Yeah. If anything, what they added was all these like gratuitous military shots. What if a building had like 1,000,000 turrets come out of it? You know, like, I mean, that would be cool.
Who lives in? There's so many buildings that are just guns. Who lives
I like to
in the
imagine
building?
that your apartment, you just at any point is like, please exit. Your apartment is about to transform into a turret. And you're like, oh, fuck. It's like your living room starts rising up and a big gun comes out of it.
Yeah, the diamond was cool. Although when it got shot and turned into crystals, I was like, that looks like the Great Satan from
Yeah.
Super Sentai Zooranger.
Well, maybe they were directly inspired.
Maybe they were. It was afterwards.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to be inspired by because that season turned into Power Rangers became a huge franchise. So why not rip it off?
Well, ultimately, the story here is one of working together. We see all these contractors and guys.
You were
in
very
hats.
upset that they really were leaning into the working together.
Yeah, it's really well.
Because
Even
you're such a divisive person. You like to divide.
again, the
people.
original show is just about let's be depressed and see 14-year-olds be depressed. How do they deal with that? And now the guy who made it. Again, it's this thing where like directors at their lowest point make like weird subversive art about what depressed sacks of shits they are. And then everyone goes, wow, you're incredible. You're one of the greatest artists of all time. And they go, I am one of the greatest artists of all time. And they revisit their creations and they start making them happy and adding happy endings. They did with that Matrix movie where it's
Oh,
like, yeah, what if Neo died and sacrificed himself? It's like, what if I brought him back and gave him his girlfriend back? It's like, no, he already died. He already had he's Jesus. Jesus didn't come back from the dead and get a new girlfriend.
Jesus did come back
from
from the dead.
but he didn't
did
get a
literally
girlfriend.
come back. That's kind of his whole thing, Vito. He came back from the
He
dead.
didn't come back to the dead to kiss a fucking Carrie Ann Moss, all right? He just floated up to heaven.
I agree. The whole cis heteronormative relationship in Matrix Resurrections
Very
was very problematic,
Very
and I think the
problematic.
director really should have rethought it.
No.
Now the problem with Resurrection was bringing Smith back, but not even
As
getting-
not, yeah, Smith.
like if you bringing Smith back is already a bad idea. Not getting the same actor is an even worse idea.
There's a lot of mistakes in that. They really thought they were
I
going to
have
make
a
more of
Matrix Resurrections episode you can watch.
those to prepare for the Matrix Revolutions trilogy, which is not going to happen.
No, it's not gonna happen.
No.
The diamond thing is cool. I like that it's drilling into the facility. It's just like one big blue diamond going all the way down. So their core, this one has like a very exposed core. You think it would have covered it up more.
Well, I think the core is only exposed when it's firing at things. So that's why they're creating the distraction of launching like a bajillion missiles at it.
They do talk about how the taxpayers' dollars are being wasted, which I thought was a good message.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah, so the ending, like, I guess everyone in Japan has to tell Shinji they love him to make the gun work better? Is that what I was getting from that?
Yeah, it was very much a clap your hands if you believe in spirits Tinkerbell situation. It was all of everybody has to believe. All of Japan's power had to be diverted to the giant laser sniper rifle.
How is it being diverted?
Well, they show all the transformers and the power lines, and they all set it up.
But how is them people just being happy getting into the...
I don't think that's part of it. I think you're adding that.
Oh, I thought that made it seem like if we all believe the gun will work.
No, I think that was just something you came up with.
That's how it was. Like, even the Penguin sent his well wishes.
I mean, like, there's the implied, like, hey, we as humanity have put all our hope and faith in this mega weapon. Like, there's some of that. It's not literally like, if we clap our hands together, Santa will rise.
And then it doesn't even kind of work. Like, Ray has to, like, shield him for it to work again. Like, it takes a couple shots.
It takes 2 shots.
Because, like you pointed out, everything is automated except the aiming.
Except the aiming, yeah. Like, we've built this gun. It's got, like, 1 million systems in it. But you got to line it up yourself. It's like, can't you have a computer do that? Listen, kid, we need some dramatic stakes here.
To hold the gun? Can't we just mount the gun?
You know, that's a good point. That the gun, normally they're like, we need the Evangelions because they can negate AT fields or whatever else. It's like, unless you have a really big gun, then it's okay.
Yeah, what the fuck? The whole AT field, like, they didn't even do the thing like we weaken the field. Now the gun will work. It's like, now the gun will just do it. Like,
that's like the one.
Is it because the Evangelion is holding the gun?
Maybe the Evangelion is channeling its anti-AT field energy into the gun. It does seem to be the one place in Evangelion canon where they're like, don't worry about the AT field this time. We want to do a sniper rifle thing. It'll be cool.
You know, Dune makes it very clear how the shields work, okay?
Yeah, Dune.
Dune's awesome. I don't know why you don't like it.
The first Dune is awesome, and then it just gets weirder and weirder.
You watched the fan extended cut of the first Dune?
No, I haven't.
It's a lot better.
The David Lynch Dune?
Yeah, because he never did a proper director's cut.
Yeah.
And a lot of the scenes he shot was worked in the TV version, but it wasn't very good.
So there's a lot of stuff floating out there.
So fans have taken stuff from the TV cut and deleted scenes, and they've reconstructed like a complete Dune. Because he'll never touch it.
I think
it's free on YouTube. It's really good.
Some of Dune's like shots look really good. Whenever he's got like a bunch of people assembled.
I like all the Dunes pretty much. The made-for-TV series was pretty accurate.
The weirdly homophobic version of the Baron.
Yeah.
Watch me rip a child's heart out.
We have a best Dune episode you can also watch. So then Ray has to protect him.
Ray has to protect him. Again, I think the movie did a bad job of building up Ray.
So their guns can penetrate the angel shields. But the Angel's blasting can't penetrate their shields?
The Angel, it would have blasted through her shield. Her shield was deteriorating.
It was deteriorating,
yes.
but that gun was just able to go like... Boop.
I think that this was a rare case where this thing had a weird way that it worked, where it exposed its core when it was doing stupid shit. And it's a rare exception.
I did like the shape changing. It reminded me of the thing in Nope, which we were talking about. They took inspiration from that. And then they kill that thing.
And then Shinji starts crying because he's a woman. See, here's the thing about Evangelion. Everyone's always like, why is Shinji such a little bitch or whatever? And it's like, bro, if you were a 14-year-old and you were forced into a robot and made to fight aliens that were definitely going to kill you every single time, I'd probably be crying the whole time too. Like, this sucks. I hate everything about this. Get in the robot. Oh, God. Oh, God.
I literally only talked to 2 women. One is an older alcoholic who
and the
yells
other
at
one
me.
slapped me.
And the other one is a weird mute who might be my mom. I don't know. Also, I might be in my mom.
See, that's why Evangelion, people don't understand. They go, like, they're so used to these robot shows where, like, the guy's like, yes, I will step up to the plate. Me, a young hero of the Federation. I will fight the aliens or whatever. And Shinji's just like, all of this sucks and everything sucks and my dad hates me. And I'm like, it's kind of refreshing. I kind of like that.
It's kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
Although there is that moment where he gets cocky.
He does. He starts like, getting full of himself.
He's like, what are you going to do without me? And then they're finally like, we'll do it without you. He's like, what?
Well, that's honestly the most, like, real. That part always sticks with me because I'm like, this is, like, actually almost, like, realistic in, like, the human psychology of, like, oh, I've created a psychological escape for me where I can just say, well, I have to do it. And then, that way, I can be like, oh, this is my dark burden to bear. And they're like, oh, no, you don't have to do it.
Yeah, we got
That's
other
something
people.
you've invented for yourself because you're an asshole. And he's like, fuck. And you're like, man, I feel that kid had created an entire emotional coping mechanism and you destroyed it in a second. Wow.
Oh man. So yeah, humanity. By the way, humanity kind of sucks. I don't know why they want to fight. Like,
Yeah.
to protect it. Like,
Well, that's the whole thing. The show is trying to convince you, look at all these humans working together. They must be great. And you're like, yeah, I don't know, we're okay.
what about all the other life on Earth? Like, hey, should we save the Earth for like all the other organisms,
no,
like the penguins?
Well, maybe the penguins.
The
but
penguins need to step their fucking game up. Like, they're able to read. They can pick up a gun. They can join the fighting force. I'm sorry. Yeah, so Evangelion 1.11, you are not alone. It's whatever. Here's what I want to ask.
It's better than most.
Since people were upset that I only watched this one and that you showed it to me, you did anime wrong.
Yeah.
That was a veto.
People
L.
said you should watch the TV show, which I agree with.
So
It is longer.
if me and Vito started a Patreon show
Yes.
where, let's say once a month, because we're very busy,
Forcing Tony to watch Evangelion.
I watch an Evangelion episode and I report back to Vito about it.
Yes.
Is that something you guys would like to see? Me going through the entire Evangelion, and I'll finish the rebuild movies too. I'll get all
all
the way,
26 episodes.
and then there's
the end of Evangelion movie.
Yes.
Then the 4 rebuild movies.
Okay, is there anything after end of Evangelion? Isn't there like a is there like
No.
no?
After end of Evangelion is the end of the whole TV show.
Okay,
saga.
good.
There's a movie called Death and Rebirth, but that is the first 26 episodes condensed into a really weird like mashup movie.
Oh,
You're not allowed to watch that because that's cheating.
it's like a clip show.
Yeah, it's like a clip show.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll watch everything, and I'll report to Vito each time. Is that something you want to see? Let me know.
Two fat Italians
Two fat
watching
Italians.
Japanese teenagers cry.
What if I get like? What if it's like finally the thing that turns me, and like I'm like I got like my hair painted like blue like Ray.
It
and-
won't be.
What if I'm wearing like the purple and green robot like hoodie?
I'll say this: Evangelion is one of these things where I think it hit a lot harder in the '90s.
No.
Like a lot of stuff has come along.
You were like, I don't think you can appreciate this if you're not like a 15-year-old sad guy.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is I watched it as a teenager and I was like, I don't know, just at the time. And again, you were talking about like X-Files.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect time for like creepy, weird societies and like alien whatever stuff. And like through that lens, it was like great. Has it aged perfectly? No, but I still think it's definitely worth watching.
Yeah.
And then you're going to watch that end of Evangelion movie and you're going to go, what the fucking shit was that? What?
And the thing is, I have seen spoilers because so many friends I know
Yeah.
watch this shit. And I've seen the Mega 64 thing, but I'll probably, by the time I get up to it, I'll probably have forgotten those things, so it will be fresh again.
There's a lot to keep in mind.
Yes. Now, Vito,
You haven't even met Asuka yet. She's like a whole thing.
the girl from WWE?
No.
Oh.
The redheaded girl who's compensating for, well, spoiler alert.
Oh, okay. Vito,
Yeah.
where can we find you? Are you also in the center of the earth, underneath the Oregon Ocean and the dome and the crust?
I am the hedgehog who is desperate to be touched.
Hedgehogs hang out with each other. The hedgehog thing doesn't make sense.
The closer hedgehogs get to each other, the more they hurt each other, Tony.
No.
Just like human beings.
Like porcupines and stuff cuddle with each other.
The
They're not
closer
hurting
I
each-
get to you, the more I become hurt. And that is the moral of the story. Guys, you can find me at youtube.com/Vito. Don't forget to check out my podcast, The Biggest Problem in the Universe, at biggestproblem.show. And check out my exciting anime-inspired comic book, Super Killer, at superkiller.org. The crowdfunding campaign should be still going on as you're watching this, so you can get yourself a copy of my hilarious comic
And
book.
it's hilarious. If you appreciate the humor in Booster Gold, it's the same thing. If you can't find Super Killer, just buy a copy of Booster Gold.
Completely, it's
Same
not
exact
Booster
same
Gold.
thing.
I like Booster Gold.
What are you doing?
I broke the clamp for the
What the
microphone.
fuck? Why did you break the clip? Were you fidgeting with it?
No, I don't know. It just fell off. I'm fixing it now. There we go.
Oh my god, don't fidget with the thing. No one else touches the microphones during these.
What a great show we've had tonight, folks. What
All
a
right.
show.
Like, share, and subscribe. I will put a poll out if we should start a bonus Evangelion Patreon
Please let me
show.
start an anime podcast with Tony.
You have to do the episodes with me once a month.
I will absolutely watch
Can
the
you
episode.
do once a month?
Yeah, more than that, yeah.
Because I listen to your podcast. You guys miss weeks sometimes. 'cause
We
you
do
gotta-
not miss weeks.
You got to play Magic the Gathering or some shit.
Dick misses weeks. I have never missed a week.
All right, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.